2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Guyton, tackle, Oklahoma.
Are we back on the bandwagon now, Cowboys Nation? I sensed a shift last night on Twitter in the mood around Cowboys Nation after trading back to pick 29 and picking up pick 73 and drafting Tyler Guyton. It seems like a lot of fans are pumped, which is a dramatic shift from what has been all offseason. I've been saying this for weeks, guys, and nobody wants to listen, all right? Take a step back off the ledge. This team is going to be fixed through the draft. There were a ton of tackles available. There was a ton of interior offensive linemen, if they wanted to take a center, available. And you saw them trade back from Barton. They lost him, unfortunately, but they did go to pick 29, pick Guyton, which is a great move, in addition to grabbing 73, which is a third-round pick, early third, from the Lions. But listen, when you look at this team as a whole and what they did in the offseason, which really wasn't much, they lost a bunch of guys, but they were a bunch of depth guys, and there's still a bunch of free agents out there. There's going to be undrafted free agents, and the people that you lost that were any good, Tyron Smith, all right, you're not going to replace him with Guyton year one. Most likely, Guyton is going to have some struggles. He's a developing player, all right, but within 2 to 3 years, the word is he is going to be a pro player, all right? He's going to be a good left tackle in this league. All right, you lost Tony Pollard. We're going to get an upgrade at running back on day 2, guaranteed. Not sure if it's going to be Brooks or somebody else. Keep your eye on that. And then we lost Tyler Biadasz, all right? And the word is Cowboys are still looking for a center. There's still some centers left. Jackson Powers Johnson comes to mind. However, they may also just go with somebody like Tyler Hoffman, who's already on their team. And then next year, TJ Bass may take over for Zach Martin at right guard. Zach Martin's in the last year of his deal. He's getting up there in age. He might even retire. So you're watching the reconstruction of this Cowboys offensive line in real time. And listen, for the Cowboys to move back, yes, they lost Graham Barton, which sucks. Everybody was high on Graham Barton for center. But to still move back, pick up pick 73 from the Lions in the third round, where the Cowboys only had 2 day 2 picks. They had no fourth rounder. So to pick up that third is a huge move. And then to still get Tyler Guyton on top of that, that's a fantastic job by the Cowboys front office on day 1 of the draft. Good job by Jerry, Will, and Steven. If you're gonna hate on them all offseason, let's give them some credit when the credit's due. They have not handled Dak's contract well. They have not handled CD's contract well. Micah's coming up. I'm sure we'll have issues with the way they handle Micah's contract, but we also got to give them their due, okay? They did a great job on night 1 of the draft, and we'll see what they do in day 2. I love picking up this extra third because that now frees you up to pick somebody like a Sweat if he's still around in round 3. They have more gaps on this team than they had draft picks, and by picking up that extra third rounder, man, that is, I can't even indicate how powerful of a move that is in terms of replacing the depth on this team. They could use that pick to go corner, wide receiver, like I said, defensive tackle. I fully expect them to grab a running back and a linebacker on day 2, and I'm hoping they focus on maybe another one technique. I'm really high on Sweat if he's still around. I know there's some issues with his character, off the field stuff, but not too worried about that. He's a kid that liked to party in college. We'll see what he does when he gets to the pros if he grows up. And listen, guys, overall view on this team right now, okay? The people they lost, it's really not a big deal. We didn't sign many people. We signed Eric Kendricks at linebacker, which was a good move with Zimmer in his first year here in Dallas. All right, so good move there, but they didn't really sign anybody else. Royce Freeman, which is kind of a throwaway pickup. It's almost like an insurance pickup. So disregard him kind of altogether. He might not even be here at the start of the season. The Cowboys didn't lose anybody else that's not really replaceable outside of Tyron Smith. So I was never panicking. I know Cowboys Nation was panicking. The Cowboys aren't ever participants in free agency on the opening few days. And they really don't like to make moves until after the draft typically, because that's when you get your comp picks. The formula ends where picking up guys in free agency doesn't hurt your comp pick formula. So they're looking to get 3 comp picks probably next year. They have a plan in place. I know I'm not going to say trust them blindly because it's not the right thing to do. And judging on what happens on day 2 and 3 of the draft, man, this team could be heading in the right direction big time. And this is a soft rebuild. I consider what they're doing right now to be a soft rebuild, and this soft rebuild could be done within 1 to 2 years. So I'm pumped for the future of this team, the direction they're headed. I know a lot of people aren't, but it seems like some people are getting back now. The draft, this is kind of the cycle every year. They're getting back into this thing. By training camp, everybody's going to be back all in. It's the word of the phrase of the offseason, all in. Everybody's going to be back all in the training camp time. I just got there, I think, a little earlier than everybody else. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let's keep an eye on the draft day 2. Hopefully they pick up a running back and a linebacker. And I'm really hoping for a one technique defensive tackle. Fingers crossed it's Sweat. Cowboys Nation, let's go.
this is a test of how great we can be, right?